Today, in the morning hours across this country, the events of 15 years ago were remembered. The heroes mourned, the resolve renewed. On this day, where time stood still, Major League Baseball keeps their promise by honoring the memory of those we lost. Good afternoon and welcome to Marlins Park as the Marlins and the Dodgers finish off a three-game series. And here on 9/11 across the country and here in Miami, we honor those that serve and remember that tragic day of 15 years ago as the Marlins and the Dodgers finish off what has been an entertaining three-game series. The Fish got game one, the Dodgers last night, a 5-0 shutout in a near perfect game from Rich Hill of the Dodgers. To start things today, let's go down on the field here at Marlins Park.
Ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you please rise and remove your caps, enjoying Major League Baseball, the Marlins and Dodgers, as we remember those who lost their lives on September 11, 2001. We pay tribute to them and to the men and women who serve our country as we honor a pledge made 15 years ago today we shall not forget. Please join us as we observe a moment of silence in their honor. Thank you. And presenting the colors today is the Honor Guard from the United States Customs and Border Protection Explorers Post number 99. And performing the Star-Spangled Banner for us this afternoon is Rachel Alsinoff.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes in bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's fragrant bombs bursting in agony through the night, that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner wave o'er the land of the free and the hope of the brave.
Let's hear it for Rachel Alsinoff and the United States Customs and Border Protection Explorers Post.
So on this Sunday afternoon, the Marlins and the Dodgers getting ready to finish it off. The Fish finishing their homestand as well. Miami trying to stay afloat in the National League wild card race. We've got first pitch lineups coming up. is the presenting sponsor of Miami Marlins baseball. Jose Urena on his way out. And for Urena, his last 3 outings, he did get touched up against the Phillies, but look at the start in New York against the Mets and against the Padres, just an earned run. If you want to go back another start previous to that in Pittsburgh, his ERA a slender 2.04 in those 3 starts. So Urena and Real Muto discussing the game plan for the Dodgers. It's the Fish and the Dodgers. Preston Wilson joins me for some baseball coming up. Miami Marlins baseball on Fox Sports Florida is brought to you by Ram. Right now, get a great deal during Ram Truck Month. By Southwest, transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. And by your local Toyota dealers, let's go places. Jose Urena ready to go, hops out onto the mound to face a very good Los Angeles Dodgers team this afternoon. 80-61 are the Dodgers, leader of the West. Their lead is 4 over the Giants. And UHealth Sports Medicine brings you their lineup.
Well, here are the Dodgers. Chase Utley's leading off. Josh Reddick is second. Corey Seager's in the 3-hole. Adrian Gonzalez is batting cleanup. Yasmani Grandal is batting 5th. Jock Peterson occupies the 6th slot. Andre Ethier gets a start, batting 7th. Howie Kendrick playing 3rd and batting 8th. And Kenta Maeda is pitching and batting 9th, Rich.
So Ethier gets a start. He was activated yesterday. Urena, and it was interesting listening to Jeff Conine on Marlins Live, trying to figure out, all right, is Jose Urena the guy that the Marlins have seen since he jumped into the rotation on August 16th? And if so, he's certainly a guy that could contend for a rotation spot next year. For now, the Marlins have him in the rotation. And one note involving Urena and the Marlins, David Phelps has been taken off the disabled list, and Phelps is in the bullpen and active and could pitch today. So keep that in mind, kids. Southwest Airlines, Derek Dietrich, Ichiro, and Yelich in the outfield. Yelich still patrolling center field. No Marcell Ozuna in the lineup. Martin Prado, Justin Bour on the corners. Danny Echeverria, D. Gordon up the middle. And JT Realmuto returns behind the plates. Second start for Bour since coming off the disabled list. And He gets set at first base. The Marlins and the Dodgers collide. For the 7th time this year, the Marlins have won 5 of 6. A 4-game sweep in LA and winning game 1 on Friday. And an old nemesis is in the box. Chase Utley, former Philly. Josh Reddick, Corey Seager for the Dodgers. And here's the changeup from Urania. A ball and a strike. Preston, you've seen this Dodger lineup for a couple of nights. How does what Urania does on the mound translate to what Dave Roberts' Dodgers do at the plate?
Well, the big thing for Urania is he's got to hit his spots. We saw last night when Kohler missed a few spots there in the 5th inning. These sluggers in this lineup are able to take advantage of it. They do have a very good offensive ball club, and they're getting better. They're getting healthier. But for Urania, he's just got to keep the ball down in his zone. Use that good explosive movement down.
Tough hop. Echeverria handled it. That's not an easy play. But Etch was able to come up with the ball cleanly and get Utley.
Yeah, that's a really nice play. He works his feet well, gives ground a little bit to get that bigger hop. And then gets off a nice, quick, accurate throw. See him retreat a little bit. He actually caught it a little bit in his bare hand. That ball really didn't get caught in the glove. He caught that ball with his bare hand. He's almost right behind the pitcher. Watch this ball. He actually catches it with his bare hand.
Urania throws a strike to Josh Reddick.
Check this out. He actually feels this ball with his bare hand. He gives ground. Look at that. He actually takes his bare hand and knocks it in the glove with his bare hand.
Good pitch in on the hands. Echeverria again into shallow left. And he makes the catch. And Reddick is out number 2. And Jose Urania off to a good start. But here comes Corey Seager. The gun show last night was impressive for the Dodgers. Now, after the ball game, there was one of those long distance softball hitters exhibitions where you got the Men of Steel or whatever they're calling them now. The long haul bombers. Thank you for that. Well, the long haul bombers have nothing on the Dodgers because the Dodgers were bombing yesterday. They hit 4 home runs, Seager included. Jock Peterson hit a couple. Justin Turner homer. And this is Seager from last night.
That's when that location started going awry for Tom Kohler. Corey Seager, big part of that offense. Just such an impressive young hitter, great young shortstop. He's one of those guys that the Dodgers just have to be saying, man, we get to keep this guy.
Certainly a top candidate for Rookie of the Year, as we've said, a guy that's in the conversation for MVP as well because of the position that he plays. Dodgers shortstop. 2-1 pitch. And he fouls that back. Now, his home run last night was his 25th of the season. His brother Kyle up in Seattle has hit 28. And according to Elias, they're the first set of brothers in baseball history to ever hit 25 in the same season. Great pitch. Urania with that power changeup.
That's nasty,
Gets the strikeout of Seager. 1, 2, 3 go the Dodgers. This ball game is underway in Miami. as the Fish get their first look at Kenta Maeda here this afternoon. And Miami's lineup is brought to you by UHealth Sports Medicine.
And here come your Fish. Dee Gordon's leading off. Ichiro's in the 2-hole. Martin Prado is batting third. Christian Yelich is in the cleanup spot, Rich. Justin Bour fifth. Real Muto sixth. Derek Dietrich is seventh. Danny Echevarria is batting eighth. And Jose Urena is batting ninth.
Kenta Maeda, 28 and over from Japan. And like a lot of the Japanese starters that are in the big leagues right now, he is having success. You see the 3.29 ERA, and Maeda goes to work on Dee Gordon. Fastball laced into center field. That's a hit. And so Gordon is aboard. You've got Ichiro and Martin Prado coming up as well. Dodgers defense, what a great play by Yasiel Puig last night to preserve what was then a perfect game. Southwest brings you. Andre Ethier gets a start in left, off the DL and in left. Jock Peterson in center. Josh Reddick out in right. Gonzalez and Kendrick on the corners. Utley gets a start at second. Corey Seager, of course, at short. And Yasmani Grandal behind the plates. So here is Ichiro. He has faced Maeda 3 times. He's 0 for 3. It's a little ground ball. Maeda's a great fielder. Seager's turn is in time for 2. And just like that, Dee Gordon is erased, and so is Ichiro. One of the best fielding pitchers in his time in Japan, and he shows it here.
Oh, yeah, that's just really good fundamental footwork. Leads his shortstop, and that's really what creates this double play. He leads his shortstop, so the momentum is going towards first base. Nice, easy transition for Seager. Great play by Kenta Maeda.
So here is Prado.
I would not be surprised to see a lot of the Marlins attacking early against Kenta Maeda. He will throw any pitch, anytime. Fastball, change, slider, curve. Curve is probably the last in his repertoire. It's more of a show pitch. But in his stats, 0-0 and 3-0 are the only counts where you're 50% or more of a chance to get a fastball. All other counts is less.
Prado to center. Peterson's there. That's 4 pitches. And the Marlins are done. Scoreless in Miami.
Está disponible en español a través del SAP y es presentado a ustedes por Kendall Toyota y West Kendall Toyota.
Back in Miami, scoreless in the second. Adrian Gonzalez, Yasmani Grandal, Jock Peterson, for the Dodgers. Yes, Jose Urena, who hasn't started against the Dodgers this year. First pitch pop fouling out of play, but he had a big moment in Los Angeles against the Dodgers. It was in that ball game where the Marlins had the lead. Remember, David Phelps was ejected, and all of a sudden, with a couple relievers down that night, Don Mattingly had to scramble, and Urena came in the 8th inning and got a 5-out save as the Marlins swept the Dodgers in that 4-game series.
Yeah, I believe that was his first major league save, Rich.
It was 23 pitches that night, and he was fearless.
Oh, he
in
was.
a very tight game in front of a big crowd in LA.
I really thought that was the beginning of his solidifying himself as a big leaguer. And I know he went down to the minor leagues after that, but I think that gave him confidence. I think that let him know that he can pitch here in the big leagues, and I think he's grown from that moment on.
Gonzalez has a couple of hits in the series, and he swings and misses, and Urena has 2 strikeouts. A deposit on a 2017 season ticket plan guarantees you access to the All-Star Game in Miami next year. It's your chance to secure seats for a once-in-a-generation event. $250 where the deposits start. 1-877-MARLINS, or go to marlins.com/tickets. Now Grandal, and he lifts one to left. That's Dietrich out there. And Dietrich still learning the nuances of left field. Remember, he saw some time there last year. Makes the catch.
Made that play look rather casual, just nice and easy. Go to the ball.
Dietrich going old school. Got high pants, high socks. Fastball misses away to Jock Peterson. Now, there are guys, sometimes you see a guy take a home run swing, right?
Yeah, boy.
And you're saying, oh man, that's a home run swing. He did that yesterday and put a ball up almost to the top of the second deck. 7 pitches for Jose Urena, and he's rolling. Marlins bottom 2. Kenta Maeda, a mystery to many, but as we scout this right-hander, Auto Nation brings you the scouting reports.
Senbokugon, Osaka, Japan. Hails from there. 28-year-old rookie. Spent 8 seasons in Japanese baseball, and he was a first-rounder in 2006 by the Hiroshima Carp. and he made his debut in the Japanese Baseball League in 2008.
Big breaking ball to Christian Yelich. Justin Bour and JT Realmuto to follow. And as you pointed out, he's got a big variety and a large menu of pitches to choose from.
Oh, he's got it all.
Now he doubles up on the breaking ball. I mean, just looking at the scouting report, fastball, sinker, cutter, slider, curve, change. The slider pitch he throws a lot. He's working with Yasmani Grandal this afternoon. Yelich couple hits in the series.
That's more of the slider, slurvy type. He'll add and subtract with that slider too. That's more of a softer one. That's a get me over. Banking that Yelich isn't going to pull the trigger on a 2-0 slider in his first at bat. Yeah, that one's a little harder. That one was 79. The first one was 77. That one's got a little more bite on it. See the grip there. Slider rotation. Slider rotation usually comes out looking like a guy's throwing a football, kind of. Since we do have NFL games going on, Rich.
That's right, 2-2. Workload is something that's always interesting when you talk about Japanese pitchers. Japanese pitchers tend to throw a lot more during the course of spring training, their spring training, and in the season. But the number of games is very different. 140 games generally in that neighborhood is the season for Japanese teams. And so Maeda, healthy, averaged about 28 starts in each of his 8 seasons in Japan. Yelich fights off a fastball.
Yeah, after seeing all those curveballs and sliders, he finally threw him a fastball, and I bet that looked like it was 98 miles an hour.
And so here is Maeda making his 28th start of this season, probably with 3, maybe 4 to go as the season winds down. Innings wise, he's at 154 after the first inning.
But one of the things the Dodgers have been is very judicious with making sure he gets his rest. They want to make sure they don't work him too much and give him off days whenever they can.
It's a good at bat here by Yelich. Fouls it off. 7-pitch at bat.
And like not much. The pitch number 3 is the only one that really got a lot of the plate.
Two balls, 2 strikes. We got Bour waiting on deck. Realmuto after him. Yelich takes one in the dirt.
And as he so often does, Yelich has found himself in a 3-2 count.
Pitch number 9 coming up. You see Bour ready to go. This is the type of pitcher where, yeah, it's, you see the Marlins jump on some early fastballs, but you get into this deep count and it's patience time.
Well, and you don't know what you're going to get.
Breaking ball, Yelich pulls it on the ground, and Gonzalez gets to the bag. And here comes Justin Bour. As you noted last night, really tough for Bour and for Giancarlo Stanton to get back into the swing of things, seeing 1 at bat a day. Now Bour's second start here. Marlins had run into a couple of lefties to open this series against the Dodgers. So it'll be interesting to see how Bour does with a little more playing time over the next week. There's a look at Giancarlo. Marlins will see a right-hander tomorrow night in Atlanta, but the Braves haven't announced Tuesday and Wednesday starters yet. Curveball, and it's pulled. Utley gets the out. And tomorrow it'll be Andrew Kasher going for Miami and Mike Foltynewicz for the Atlanta Braves. We start things at 6:30 from Turner Field. Craig will be hosting.
Hey.
Oh, hold on. Jess is hosting on the studio. Craig will be on the road trip.
That's right. Craig is doing some sideline.
There you go.
To the ill-named Peach State.
Well, it's the look. It's the last trip. Last trip to Turner Field.
Yes, that's right. That'll be the last series the Marlins play there.
SunTrust Park next year online. Everything sounds like it's on time. We'll get you the latest renderings and latest photos of the new ballpark in Atlanta to open next year. That 1-1 pitch is outside. Real Muto back in the lineup, still hot. Had a nice road trip. Has a double and a homer. Scored 3 runs on this homestand. Busts his bat and pops it into right. Reddick settles under it and makes the catch. And the Marlins are done. Kenta Maeda's given up just a D. Gordon single, and after a frustrating night last night, a little more of the same so far. Like they're on it today. Fox Sports proud to team up with The Mission Continues as we commemorate the 15th anniversary of the events of 9/11. The Mission Continues is bringing together veterans and civilians throughout local service projects and giving back to local communities. Visit foxsportsupports.com to learn more. Andre Ethier back in Dodger blue. Takes a strike. He's been on the disabled list for some time. Was activated yesterday. And Ethier takes away. Broken right tibia. Played in 11 rehab games with Rancho Cucamonga. He pops that one up. Echeverria out. Dietrich in. And I'm sure for Etch, he's a little more nervous with Dietrich being behind him. You've got a guy that's a little less experienced in left field.
Well, that's when body language becomes very important for Echeverria. You see, when a shortstop is going out, the key for an outfielder, the sign that he's got it, is either seeing that outfielder stop or preferably having the infielder show you his back. That lets me know he's camped under it, he's got it. I never like the outfielders who drift sideways, because when you're running hard and trying to look down and glance at them, that's not a very good key to let me know that you got it. I always like the infielders to show me their back when they've already settled under the ball.
Prado backhands off of Howie Kendrick's sharp ground ball. And Jose Urena is just getting outs right now. And that brings up Maeda, the pitcher, who has homered this year.
Oh, Urena's done a great job of executing down in the strike zone. And when you have his velocity and movement and down in the strike zone, you're going to get yourself some pretty easy outs sometimes, especially when he's throwing strikes. Another good sign for Urena today is he has a good looking changeup. He threw Adrian Gonzalez a very good changeup earlier.
He's out in front 0-2. Miami hits the road. Got a break on that second strike, it looks like. Miami on the road in Atlanta tomorrow night. 3-game set. Gordon approaches, has it, flips. 8-pitch inning. This is something to see. Urena and Maeda. Looking good, and so is Craig Minervini. And I mean that, I really do. How are you, Craig?
Not bad, Rich. Thank you very much. Happy to be working here on this day of remembrance and talk a little bit about the pitcher Kenta Maeda. He's the 8th Japanese player in Dodger history, and many of these names are familiar to fans, especially Hideo Nomo, who burst onto the scene as the first Japanese-born player. Ishii had a nice run, Nakamura the 1 year. I think the interesting name there is manager Dave Roberts. He was born in Okinawa to Elko and Wayman Roberts, U.S. Marine. His dad stationed in Japan, so in some lists he's listed as a Japanese-born player. And eventually Dave settled in San Diego, of course, on a nice 10-year career. And I thought he handled himself very well in a tough spot last night. Handling the situation with Rich Hill, guys. It's not an easy one. It's never been done before, but look into the future and you can understand where he came from, but also the heartfelt approach that he had in the postgame.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it, that the heartfelt, because it was emotional for him. Gonzalez has it, flips. Maeda just beats Dietrich to the bag. There is, if you're sitting and watching the game and you've got a tablet, a laptop or something, and you want to read an interesting perspective on that decision and what happened last night with Rich Hill being pulled after 7 innings of perfect baseball. He's the first guy ever to be pulled after 7 innings with a perfect game in Major League history. Ted Keith on SportsIllustrated.com runs down a lot of the reasoning and a lot of the background on other pitchers and why Hill is so valuable to this Dodger team right now. We pointed it out last night. Echeverria takes out. They don't know what they have with Clayton Kershaw. I mean, he threw 3 innings on Friday night. He's a long ways away from taking the ball and giving you 8 innings in a postseason game. Now he may well get there in 3 weeks. But Hill's kind of the anchor right now of this rotation, and the numbers that he's put up this year are so eye-popping that having him for 4 more starts in this pennant race, having him in a postseason rotation, and that's, as Roberts pointed out last night, that far outweighs the risk of letting him go out there having just been off on the DL for over a month with a blister and being on the disabled list with a groin strain earlier this season.
Yeah, and the blister, a lot of Marlins fans will remember Josh Beckett had a terrible time with blisters in his career here in Miami. And when this humid environment, there's a lot of moisture in the air, you are more prone to aggravating those blisters in this city, in this environment in particular, because of the humidity.
Echeverria reaches out and fouls it off. All right, who looks more dominant? ¿Quién es más macho? Is it Kenta Maeda or Jose Urena right now?
Right now, Urena looks like he's more dominant. They haven't really squared him up at all. I mean, a couple lazy fly balls to left is about all they've amounted to. Everything else has been ground ball or strikeout.
Now the Marlins have hit 2 balls hard. And that was D. Gordon's single, the line drive to center. He was erased on the next pitch when Ichiro hit a weak ground ball back to the mound for a double play. And then remember, Prado hit a bullet out to center that ended the first. Echeverria lines one to right, and it's Reddick there to make the catch. So that ball was barreled up. Toyota and the all-new RAV4 give you an inside look. 133 seasons of Dodger baseball. Dodgers and Giants, that's when I was growing up, that was the rivalry on the West Coast. They finished 1 and 2 just 16 times, 6 times since 2000. Right now the Giants sit 4 back of the Dodgers. You see Urena, a couple hits this year.
They got to keep an eye on him because he can run too. If he makes that infielder have to range too far one way or the other, he gets down that line very well. They got to make a good throw to get him.
Well, Urena has retired all 9 that he's faced. Maeda has faced the minimum with that double play. That's a foul ball, and he's out. So it goes as a strikeout. Urena's done. Maeda and Urena back and forth they go in a scoreless ball game.
was like everyone else, honestly, watching the games and watching the NYPD hats and guys were wearing and things like that, and it's just kind of following like on some HBO specials and things like that what people were talking about, because if you're not there, you're not really living that. I'm still back in Indiana for the most part, but just seeing all that stuff in the aftermath has been just the pain of all of that. So how does baseball fit into that? You hear people talk about it, what it was able to do, but I'm sure there were a lot of other things in life that were going on that other people took, you know, not just baseball, but I think baseball was part of that healing for sure. There's a lot of people that I'm sure were working as volunteers and things like that from the Red Cross and other areas that were very instrumental in people's recovery.
It's a very thoughtful comment from Don Mattingly, not only talking about baseball. I mean, you tend to hear everyone say, well, baseball was such a healing deal, and it was, but Mattingly pointed out all the other different organizations that pitched in and helped in the aftermath and during the crisis. Chase Utley, Josh Reddick, Corey Seager, all the first responders from all the different sites, whether it was in Pennsylvania, whether it was at the Pentagon. Tom Kohler's father, first responder in New York. So this day always holds a lot of significance with the Kohler family. Utley, Reddick, Seager, Urania has Utley pull one foul. If you're just happening by, it's Marlins and Dodgers, and at stake here is winning the series. Miami won Friday, Dodgers won last night. Marlins would like to stay afloat in the wild card. Dodgers would like to increase their lead over the hated Giants in the West. And the two pitchers, Dave Roberts has Kenta Maeda on the mound. Miami, Don Mattingly sending Jose Urena. Both managers have to be thrilled with the way their starters are throwing so far. 1-2. Utley on a backdoor breaking ball, lifts it to left. That's Dietrich. And that's 10 retired by Urena right out of the gate.
It hasn't been a whole lot of fun to be a hitter in this game so far. Both pitchers really executing well. Maeda using the whole strike zone, throwing everything he can think of, changing speeds, and Urena has just been great in the bottom of the zone. His breaking ball's been better today and showing a really good changeup at times.
Josh Reddick takes out. Reddick, one of the guys that the Dodgers acquired as they stocked up and loaded up towards the trading deadline. There's a lot of veteran names both on the bench, in the bullpen. To center. And Josh Reddick is out. We apologize for his choice of exclamation. We have great audio. Sometimes a little too good. A little too good. But we'll take that audio. We'll take the video. We'll take the show on the roads to Atlanta. South Florida Honda dealers get you going tomorrow night, 6:30. I'm sure there'll be maybe not a tear, but with the bucket and the drill and Turner Fields, there are memories there, certainly, for every National League team that goes in there. Last trip in for the Fish. Corey Seager has struck out. That's the swing. That's the swing last night that he connected on. Is that back foot all out. Watch this.
Yeah, he's very violent in the strike zone, but that's what you want. That's hitters who drive the ball. It's a nice calm setup, but from when they enter the strike zone and through the strike zone, it's violent.
Urania stays away with a changeup and misses. Seager's a big guy, 6'4", 215, and obviously still growing. He turned 22 in April. Didn't spend a long time in the minor leagues. And he pulls that one to second. D. Gordon on to first. Jose Urania has faced the minimum through 4. Sports Florida is brought to you by Ram. Right now, get a great deal during Ram Truck Month. By Checkers, fast foodies know the deal. And by USAA, insurance, banking, and investments tailored for the military community. Marlins Park as the Fish and the Dodgers are scoreless. D. Gordon has the only hit in this game, is the only base runner in this game. And the game's already in the bottom of the 4th. D's single was into center field. Gordon trying to bunt, and he sets it down foul. All right, he's got the old school socks going, although those are the socks that have the stirrups stitch onto them.
Those are like kind of like cheap stirrups. They're not the real ribbon stirrups. I can't give him old school for that, man.
So what is it? I mean,
really, it's a debacle. Those look terrible.
That's pretty harsh.
Well,
I think it's an homage to the old school. How's that?
Yeah. Okay.
Salute to the 70s, right?
I mean, I would rather wear the ribbons than wear the ones with the, you know, painted in, so to speak, stripe.
Well, you're welcome to do that. I mean, you can bust out some old school socks up here in the booth.
I'll tell you, Rich, I got the calves for it. I'll do it.
Here's a 1-2. And Gordon flips it foul and out of play. That was the rage, though, back in the 70s, right? Was the you put a little elastic in the stirrup itself, and it stretches up, so you could show lots of the white sock, which used to be called sanitary socks.
Yes. Well, the Mets minor leagues, when I was there, they had a rule you had to show 4 inches of blue and white under your pants.
No tag. And Gordon is out, hustling down first. Maeda with his second strikeout of the ball game. Celebrate Ichiro's 3,000th hit on Sunday, September 25th at 1 o'clock. Marlins will recognize the milestone. Purchase a special event ticket, get one of 3,000 limited edition full-size bats. And they are Mizuno bats, made especially by Mizuno to commemorate Ichiro. There they are getting made. Marlins.com/Ichiro. It's got the cool music going too. I had a chance in 2013 when in Tokyo for the World Baseball Classic to go by the flagship Mizuno store, like a Nike Town or the Under Armour store, say in Chicago or up in the DC area. And I'll tell you that was incredible. And what was incredible was all the stuff Mizuno makes for other sports. I mean, sports that you never thought had stuff made for it, like badminton. I had no idea badminton had stuff like special shoes.
That's pretty cool.
Uniforms, but great baseball stuff, gloves, bats, spikes. Mizuno really big in golf as well.
Yes. I actually had a set of Mizuno golf clubs a long time ago.
One and two to Ichiro from Maeda. Pitch in the dirt. Of course, Ichiro in a different generation than Maeda. Maeda's 28, Ichiro's 42. So they never were opponents. Maeda got to the Japanese League long after Ichiro had left for Seattle back in 2001. Breaking ball, Ichiro, soft serve, center field, base hit. He's kind of floated that one in.
Nice placement. Don't have to hit it hard, just got to hit it in the right spot, Rich.
3,022 now for Ichiro. He's one shy of Lou Brock.
I'd like to see Ichiro take a bag right here. Maeda can be a little slow to the plate at times. He is susceptible to the stolen base. Let's get a little action going. What's your take, partner?
Oh, without question. I think that's, if you're looking at what you'd like to see the Marlins improve on next year, for me, it's base stealing.
Well, I think base stealing and base running starts with heightened awareness. You have to understand what you're looking for, understand keys. Every pitcher does something a little different, and you have to work and find that key that's going to give you the best jump. I would also like to see just work on the overall base running, not just base stealing, to be better base runners, more opportunistic.
That one almost got away from Maeda and Adrian Gonzalez. Yeah, Miami on the season has stolen just 53 bases.
You know, I think there are little things this team can do better, like making sure the secondary leads are not very good sometimes. When the pitch is onto the plate, those extra little hops you get. I just think there needs to be a more focused attention to detail on the little nuances of base running.
And the 53 bases for the Marlins as a team is 12th overall in the National League. Look, a lot of that has to do with the season of D. Gordon. Gordon losing 80 games to a suspension. But as well, there's you know, you talk to scouts and there's some more speed in that lineup. Prado fouls it back. Ichiro, of course, has had a terrific career in terms of stolen bases. He's at 508 in his career. 6 behind Barry Bonds and Willie Keeler. Two names that you rarely see in the same sentence, right? Bonds and Wee Willie Keeler. Pitches out. Wee Willie Keeler's motto, and sort of infamous for this, was hitting them where they ain't.
Yeah, that's the taglines that I do at the end of my Marlins clubhouse show, Rich.
There you go. Now Bonds is more famous for hitting them where the fans are sitting.
Yeah.
He didn't really worry too much where they were or where they weren't.
No.
He just hit it over their heads.
Yeah, he hit a few over my head, that's for sure.
Nitro still at first. A 1-2 to Prado. The pitch is out.
One of the most difficult things to do, or that there was to do, was to play outfield when Barry Bonds was hitting and not become a spectator, because he just put you in awe of the command that he had at the plate. It was almost like he was deciding what pitches the pitcher was going to throw to him.
Prado serves it into right field. Ichiro to second. Reddick has it. And that scissor kick, closed left shoulder, flip into right. Works again for Prado.
Looks like a change up there. Prado gets out there, gets some good extension. He just kind of serves it over there in the right field.
So Yelich now, and remember Yelich had that long at bat against Maeda in the second. It ended with a ground ball out to first. First real opportunity for any team in this ball game. Yelich took a rip at a breaking ball. Maeda's given up 18 homers. And this is start number 28. A ball and a strike. Marlins gave Maeda the first loss in his major league career. That was back on April 28th. 4 runs and 6 2/3. Goes in and gets another strike. It's 1-2.
So deceptive down in the zone. He changes speeds with everything. He changes speeds with his fastball. He changes speeds with his curveball, his slider, and his changeup. He'll throw his changeup a little harder than other times. I mentioned cutter. He's one of those kitchen sink guys. He's got everything you could think of, and he uses all of them.
And there's his fastball at 91. And all of those pitches are plus pitches. It's not like he's got 2 or 3 pitches that he'll just show you.
They're all quality pitches. He's got good command with it. And he has the conviction to throw any pitch at any time. And that's what makes him so difficult. You can't zone him up and say, okay, usually on a 2-1 count, I'm going to get a slider, or like, no, there's no rhyme or reason with his approach up there.
2-2. Yelich takes down low, and the count full out 3-2. So a pair of deep counts for Yelich in his at bats. Bohr's on deck. You have good speed at second, and Prado, the trail runner, is not being held at first. Although with this shift, Seager, the shortstop, you can see him is lurking behind Ichiro. Not running. Yelich drives it left center field. That's a hit. Ichiro will score. Prado on his way to third, and Miami's on the board.
Ichiro giving you an example of good base running. He knew where the outfielders were playing. So many times you see a ball like this hit, and because that base runner at second doesn't know where the outfielders are, he hesitates. Ichiro knows right off the bat. See him read that. He knows that ball's going to fall, scores easily. That's an example of some of that good base running we were talking about, Rich. See, right there, he reads that right away. He knows that ball is down, puts his head down, and he's gone. Great at bat by Yelich.
So the Marlins have the first run. Yelich drives in his 88th run. And here comes Bohr. Well, Maeda went soft outside and got Bohr to hook a ground ball to Utley. Obviously, Maeda would like to duplicate that, and Bohr would love to stay away from that. And you can see where Grandal sets up. It's out. And that really, in all honesty, was one of the strengths of Bohr through the first 3-4 months of this season. And that was driving stuff from the outside part into left field, into left center. Bohr drives it right center. Reddick back, reaches, makes the catch. Tagging at third is Prado, and he scores, and Justin Bohr delivers.
Well done, good at bat. Got something he could get up in there and drive. Breaking ball, I've said time and time again, Rich, easiest pitches to elevate are curveballs or fastballs away, because you tend to swing under the curveball, and the fastball away you usually hit there. That's why they shift. The outfielders usually opposite field. That's a great job in that spot, getting the right pitch for that situation.
Immensely strong is Bohr to just hook that ball and drive it about 380 feet into right center. Yelich a threat to run. Maeda quick to the plate though, and he misses to Real Muto. JT has popped out, but he's riding a 9-game hit streak, 4 homers and 15 hits in those 9 games.
And 2 nice at bats back to back. Yelich with that 6-pitch at bat, and then Justin Bohr picking on something soft that he can elevate, driving in that sac fly. The second run was really important. And I say it's important because the Marlins they can score runs, but when they score multiple runs in an inning, those are the innings that they need.
That was the line from that loss to the Marlins. This, of course, is the rookie season for Maeda, his first in the United States, his first in Major League Baseball. And Yelich sent back. Base stealers are 9 of 12 against Maeda this year. Real Muto homered against Maeda in Los Angeles. Bill Tapper up the line. JT can run, and he's going to beat this. And so the inning continues, and that gets an at bat for Derek Dietrich.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Howie Kendrick knew how fast Real Muto is. I know he didn't play third base the last time the Marlins played the Dodgers, but he fielded this with 2 hands, and you're not going to get Real Muto with that type of play. You got to go bare hand and try to get that thing out. 2 hands, that's not going to get it done. If you're going to field that ball with 2 hands with Real Muto run up the line, you might as well not even throw it. You're just asking for an error.
Yeah, here comes Dietrich now. He bounced to first back in the 3rd. Well, Maeda in the first 3 innings threw just 30 pitches. This is number 29 this inning. For the Marlins, obviously, it feels good just to have a run after getting shut out last night on 2 hits, 5-0.
It's also good just to find some holes too. Just find a few balls drop in. The Ichiro ball fell in. That base hit there by JT. Get a little good luck going your way.
Change up. It's 2-0. So you were saying about counts. 3-0, 0-0 are the only counts where Maeda will throw a fastball more than 50% of the time.
Yes.
And barely 50% of the time.
Yeah, it was like 50.4.
So 2-0. Up the middle, Seager has it. It's wide, he's safe. Gonzalez came off the bag, and Dietrich, hustling down the line, avoided the tag.
Well, Seager usually so solid. That's something you don't see. This throw, he just sailed on him. You see he didn't really get set up that well to make that throw. Kind of threw it on the drift. He definitely could have got his feet set and made a stronger throw over there. That's one of those plays that he might have just taken for granted, Rich. You know, sometimes you're so good that you just kind of think, well, I can just make this play, and you forget about the fundamentals, set your feet.
Now, in watching the replay, Gonzalez may have kept his foot on the bag long enough. Watch the foot. Oh. It's the same concept of ball in the back of the glove. So the original call of safe is a factor.
Well, see, I don't know if you can see it from the angle that we had. It's tough to see if there was still contact with the bag. It looked like he may have been on.
And that's
but I'd like to see a different angle.
That's a great point. The key word is contact, NC. You have to see that there's contact, undisputed contact. So that's the original call, safe at first.
I have seen 2 different angles. They're showing the scoreboard, big jumbotron up here, and from one angle it looks like he's safe, from another angle it looks like he's out. See right there, I can't tell if he's actually still on the base there from that angle. Like, I can't tell exactly when this shoe leaves. See, that's tough. That's right. Man, that's right at the edge of it. See, you don't know if the shoe is cleared there already. Oh man, that's close. I could see where if they decided to call him out, you could get it.
Are you 100% sure? And that's what the umpires in New York are looking for.
Well, and as we've noted so many times, Rich, the initial call is such a big deal in these plays when it's this close, because there has to be clear evidence in order to overturn it.
And you know what? He's safe. The call's going to stand.
You know, and if you're Dave Roberts, I understand why you try to go for that. You want to get your pitcher off the mound right now. He's had a high stress inning, lots of pitches right now, thrown more pitches this inning than he had in the whole game up until this point. So you want to try to get that opportunity to get Maeda off the mound if possible.
Rick Honeycutt with the interpreter for Maeda.
I mean, the Marlins have managed 5 singles this inning and wrapped those around a sac fly to Justin Bour.
Well, it's Echeverria with the bags loaded. Saw Real Muto at second, Dietrich at first. Yelich was over at third. Echeverria has not been great with the bags loaded in his career, but he does have a couple grand slams. And he hits a pop towards the line. Ethier right off the DL comes charging in and makes the catch. Maeda strands 3. Miami gets 2 and leads it 2-0.
Marlins leading 2-0 in the 5th inning, and boy, I had a lot of fun talking to a celebrity guest this week, including Monica Puig here, the gold medalist representing Puerto Rico, but lives here in Miami at the Olympic Games. Show us the medal. Amazing win for you, 22 years of age. It probably doesn't get old talking about it.
Absolutely not. It's been one of the most surreal experiences of my life and a dream come true, and I just can't believe that it's all happening so quickly.
And she doesn't have the Marlins outfit on just because she's being honored here today. She really is a Marlin fan because you lived here in Miami really for a long time.
Yeah, my brother used to play baseball growing up, and I followed the Marlins when they won the World Series in '03. So I have some really good memories of watching them play on TV. I've never been able to go to an actual game, so this is a decent surprise.
How did your life change since you got that gold medal?
I've been recognized a lot more. A lot of people expect more things of me, but I just feel the responsibility to continue to represent myself and my country as well as possible.
Did you go in thinking you could win? Did you gain that confidence along the way?
I didn't expect myself to win. I mean, in the opening ceremonies, I thought that was as good as it was going to get for me. I was like, wow, I'm here. And then all of a sudden, it just comes to the point in time where I advanced to the quarterfinals, and I'm like, okay, I think I can really do this now. And finally, when it all happened, I still couldn't believe it.
I understand there was quite the fiesta in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, it was great. We had a lot of singing, a lot of dancing, but it was nice to be back with the delegation because we were very small. So we all got to spend time with one another, and there were definitely lots of jokes and lots of inside jokes we were sharing, especially a little inside secret. Our dessert routine every single night was eating Fruit Loops. So
Fruit Loops?
Fruit Loops, yeah. We would all have our little bowl of Fruit Loops at nighttime. No matter how full we were after dinner, it was Fruit Loops.
There you go. That's the key to the gold medal. What about throwing out the first pitch here?
I was more nervous than actually playing the gold medal match. I was shaking inside, but I hope I did a good job, honestly. So.
Not bad. Jeff Francoeur caught it. It was on a fly, #1, and didn't bounce. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, I'm glad that it came out good in the end. So. What's
next for your career? Unfortunately, the points don't count for the Olympics like they used to for some reason, but you got a trip out east, I guess we'd say.
Yeah, I'm heading over to Asia the last push of the year, so I'm going to go out there, give it all I got, and see how far up I can push my ranking. You know, it was a goal of mine at the beginning of the year to finish in the 20s, and I'm not far away from that. So that's my next goal, and hopefully win some tournaments while I'm down there, and then just take a nice vacation. I think I deserve it.
I think you do. Thanks for your time, Monica, and congratulations.
Thanks for having me.
All right, Monica Puig, guys, the gold medalist representing Puerto Rico at the Olympic Games. Back to you.
Oh, very cool. Derek Dietrich charges in and makes the catch. I'll tell you what, her name was front and center in our broadcast booth for a week or two during those Olympic Games. Eduardo Perez was a ardent follower. And I believe that's the first individual gold medal for a Puerto Rican. And what a big party it was when she returned with it.
That's got to be a great feeling to know that you went up against some of the best players in the world and you were able to come out victorious. That's congratulations. Great job, young lady.
Jock Peterson. All right, now back to baseball. You've got Jose Urena, who's retired every batter he's faced. He's got 2 outs here in the 5th. Peterson last night was a holy terror to the Marlins. Tom Kohler gave up his first homer. That was in the 5th. Then he blasted another one in the 7th off of Brian Ellington.
Well, if you want to know what torque looks like, just if you get a chance, get a look at that home run he hit last night. It was just total rotation, explosion. And I'm surprised he was able to unwrap himself just to run around the bases after he hit it.
Urena misses away, and the count goes 3-1 now. Three strikeouts, no walks, no hits. Little bouncer, and that's going to find center field. So a single for Peterson. And that's the first hit that Urena gives up. First base runner for the Dodgers. A 2-out single to center.
Yeah, there was a really big hole up the middle there. location didn't look bad. Just got it away from the defense. See that big hole right there? He hit it right in the heart of that. Pretty much split the uprights.
That tapper rolls foul off the bat of Andre Ethier. With the loss last night, Miami in the wild card lost a half game of ground because the Cardinals leapt up over the Mets. Cardinals have that second wild card spot, so Miami and Pittsburgh are 5.5 back. The Mets are a half game back, and the Mets right now are clubbing the Braves 5-0 in Atlanta. Liner center, Yelich back, still back and there, and makes the catch just shy of the track. Jose Urena, 5 shutout innings, a 2-0 Miami lead. Is the presenting sponsor of Miami Marlins baseball. Miami today, the Marlins a 2-0 lead over the Dodgers, bottom 5th. Jose Urena has thrown 5 shutout innings, and he'll lead it off against Kenta Maeda, the Japanese sensation in his rookie year with the Dodgers. That's a fair ball. And out number 1. 1 pitch, 1 out for Maeda here in the bottom of the 5th. D. Gordon and Ichiro also scheduled. Miami got 2 runs on 5 hits in the 4th. That's the longest and most stressful inning that Maeda has faced today. In that Mets ball game, New York has a 5-0 lead in Atlanta. It's bottom 3. Yoenis Cespedes has driven in all 5 runs with the ground ball out and a grand slam. Pirates are getting trounced early. Reds 5-0 in Pittsburgh, top 3. And again, the Cardinals are at home against Milwaukee. That's just getting underway. Giants are in Arizona. Giants are 4 back of the Dodgers and currently in that second or in that first wild card spot. D. Gordon struck out and singled. Maeda's got 3 countrymen that are having impressive years on the mound. Masahiro Tanaka for the Yankees has been outstanding, 13-4, an ERA of right around 3. Yu Darvish for the Rangers, ERA of 3.28. And Hisashi Iwakuma of Seattle has won 15 games in his 5th year in the Northwest. There's a career ERA of 3.34.
So you can see Maeda definitely thinks the way to get D. Gordon out is with 2 strikes is go high with the fastball. They throw him fastballs up, and then if you have enough advantage, like Maeda had the 1-2 count, go down and away with something off speed, and then go back up to get the eye level back at the top of the strike zone. That's what they've been trying to do to him once they get to 2 strikes.
Don't see that sign very often from a catcher, and that is waving at him to just step off, back off. Now, why would Grandal be looking in the dugout here?
Well, sometimes just to make sure that getting the right signal from the bench.
Liner to center, and it's caught there by Peterson, but the bench doesn't call pitches.
Not always, but there may be some certain instances where the bench coach or the manager wants a certain pitch because they see something going on the mound, so they'll get the catcher's attention and they'll flash him a sign. They have hand signals just like the third base coach gives out signals. There are some special instances where the manager will want a certain pitch, and they'll make sure that they get the catcher's attention to get that pitch thrown at that time.
You just rarely see it without anybody on base. Here's Ichiro, because normally a catcher will peek into a dugout for signals as to whether a manager or pitching coach or whoever wants a pitcher to throw to first, step off, or some sort of defensive signal, or if they want to pitch out in a base stealing spot. Ichiro, right field, that's deep. Reddick is back at the track. He makes the catch. He got a high fastball and got into it, but not enough against Maeda. On to the 6th, 2-0 Miami. T-Mobiling, shall we? Greater coverage of baseball. Matt Wieters and the Orioles, a couple home runs for Wieters in that wild American League wild card race. The Orioles now have that #2 spot. We were talking about Masahiro Tanaka, 10 punch outs against the Rays. And Chris Archer, Yankees have won 7 straight. And the Yankees in the wild card are a game back. Bartolo Colon, he's the only player whose career spanned the life of Turner Field from 97 through 2016. First pitch breaking ball, left field. It hangs up. Dietrich comes in and makes the catch. Howie Kendrick is out. Jose Urena has allowed just 1 hit. A Jock Peterson ground ball single in the 5th, and that's it. No other base runners. And here comes Maeda.
He's just what the doctor ordered last night. You have a sense, or had a sense, that this Dodgers lineup was getting going, powering the ball out of the ballpark, and you did not want that to carry over till today. And Ureña's done a great job keeping the ball down in his zone, mixing up his pitches. I think having a good slider today has helped him to go along with that changeup.
Part of the plot of this game is the end game for Miami, and that is, if the Marlins are in a save situation, who will pitch? If you hung around last night for Marlins Live, Don Mattingly in the post game talking about the fact that A.J. Ramos is still having a finger issue. Ramos has admitted that. Fernando Rodney has had an effectiveness issue. He's been knocked around his last few times out. You also have Kyle Barraclough down there, who was groomed as a closer coming up in the Cardinals organization. So there's a little bit of mystery as to who Don Mattingly would hand the ball to in the 9th.
Yeah, I think in Ramos' situation, it's a matter of he can tolerate the pain that he's having, and every now and then you'll see he'll throw a breaking ball or a changeup and it really wrenches it, and you can see that discomfort, he grimaced on his face. Fernando Rodney has just not had good location. The stuff is there, but he's made some big mistakes in the middle of the plate, and when games are close, you know, those mistakes are large.
The other factor in the bullpen is that David Phelps is off the disabled list, and you can plug Phelps in anywhere from the 7th inning to the closer role as well. Little chopper, and Urena can't get there in time to keep it fair. Counts 0-2 on Utley. Every now and then we have one of those moments, a Geico moment. 2006. Marlins beat the Mets. Cody Ross drove in 7 with 3 homers. Dan Uggla had a night, 5 for 5, and that was back in 2006. Urena misses up with a fastball. Dodgers trying to get to the postseason. Man, when they get there, they've got a guy in Utley who's been there and done that. Has a lot of postseason experience. D. Gordon. How about that? The reigning Gold Glover at second, showing off on the short hop pick and throw to first. And Jose Urena, 1-hit shutout ball through 6. 2-0 Miami. 6, Marlins Park. Fish family members, renew your tickets for September 12th. Lock up 2017 renewal incentives and guarantee your 2017 All-Star Week access. Enjoy maximum savings and rewards. 1-877-MARLINS or go to marlins.com. Into the bottom of the 6th, Maeda and Urena. The Fish got to Maeda for 2 in the 4th. Martin Prado had a single to right. Takes a fastball. Ball 1. Maeda looking for win number 15. He has an interesting contract, Maeda does. It's for 8 years, and the minimum is $24 million, which sounds very club friendly. Prado, ground ball, it finds left field. And that's a hit. So he's 2 for 3. And it is club friendly. The contract is Maeda makes his money through incentives, which is a rather novel concept.
Just out of reach, Seager there. Tell you, he's such a big shortstop. He's of that Cal Ripken, Alex Rodriguez type size, big shortstop. I always liken him to a guy, maybe a lot of people won't know him, but Kevin Elster. He really reminds me a lot of Kevin Elster. Like, he's got that same big frame, and he moves those nice fluid movements like Kevin Elster.
Yelich has had 2 deep counts. He's faced 15 pitches in his 2 at-bats. Both ended up on a 3-2 count. And he had the big hit that broke the ice and got the first run of the ball game. That was the RBI single to left center in the 4th. So he has, as Preston pointed out, Yelich more than anybody has seen the entire kitchen sink of Maeda. Yelich to right. It sinks and falls. And Reddick kicks it. Prado around second. On his way to third. Relay throw. It gets by. And the run will score. It's 3-0.
Good base running by Prado. Good heads up. A lot of times, guys, when they see that outfielder, the ball gets right up on him, they'll put their head down, but he keeps his head on it, watches it, and that makes him go to third, and then you force him to make a play. Right there, that ball just eats Reddick up. He actually got a little bit too close to it, didn't play it well. Utley on the relay, or is that Seager on the relay? Seager on the relay throws it into the camera well. Get a look at Prado, see him watching it, and right there he knows a kick by, and his decision is made right there. That's good base running by Prado.
There's going to be 2 errors on the play.
Yes.
Reddick gets an error where the ball that got by him a bit. Seager gets an error for the throw that ended up in the camera well, and there's nobody out. And here is Bohr.
That's just a bad play by Reddick. That ball ate him up, and there's no need. I mean, it's going to be a single anyway. You're not going to catch it. You got to give ground. Make sure you get yourself a nice long hop on that and play that cleanly. He got way too close to it, and the ball ate him up.
And of course, Yelich ends up at third base, and that's why the infield's in, and Bohr's in another RBI spot. He delivered a sacrifice fly in the 4th. It's that one at a crazy angle way up into the seats. When you're strong and you're early, sometimes you can do that.
Wow. I don't know if I've ever pulled a ball that far foul.
1 ball, 1 strike. Dodgers pen. Luis Avilan is active. Bohr ground ball, and Seager was waiting on it, and he gets the out. And so Real Muto now will try to drive in this run and make it 4-0.
Well, Bohr got the right pitch. He just didn't let it get close enough to him.
Coors Light Cold Hard Fact. Current series, the Marlins had their first loss to the Dodgers last night. They've won the season series for the first time since 2010 and just the 6th time overall. Dodger infield in again. So it's Maeda against Real Muto. The hit streak has been extended 10 straight for JT.
If I'm JT right now, I just sit on a breaking ball. He's just going to have to throw 3 fastballs by me. There it is. There's certain situations where you've seen this guy a few times through the lineup now. You know what he likes to go to. He likes throwing get me over breaking balls early in the count. And then he tries to show you the fastball, but he pitches really more with his off-speed stuff. He's more shown fastballs and not really pitched with it today. So I'm sitting on breaking balls, just hold it back right here. You sit on that breaking ball and you think right back up the middle or just maybe a little bit towards right center. And that'll let it get to you.
That one fouled at the plate. Now back in April, Real Muto and Maeda, and that was a fastball right center field.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, JT's actually should be glad that he didn't hit that last pitch, because that's the pitch that Maeda wants you to hit. He wants you to hit that sinker so you can just ground it to Howie Kendrick or to Corey Seager. You want to get something you can elevate. And I don't care how hard you hit it. If you don't elevate the ball right here, you're probably not going to get your job done.
Yelich waiting at third with 1 out. And he got him. Real Muto strikes out.
Yeah, that's one of those at bats where you go back and you look at it and you just understand that your approach just wasn't what it needed to be. And I mean, I've had those at bats where you go and you're like, you know what, I didn't have the right game plan. And those were 2 at bats, one by Justin Bour, one by JT Real Muto, where they got something off speed and elevated that they didn't wait long enough on.
Dodgers are going to walk Dietrich intentionally to get to Echeverria, who's 0 for 2. Bob Guerin, who managed Oakland for a while and was on Terry Collins' coaching staff in New York. So Dietrich takes his walk. Echeverria in a similar spot in the 4th. The bags actually were loaded in the 4th. And he came up, he swung at the first pitch he saw and popped it into shallow left field. You can hear Bill Miller, the home plate umpire, say, yes, he did. By the way, Tom Woodring, Chris Guccione, and Tony Randazzo, the rest of this crew, Brian Knight, who was hit by that ball the other night, has not worked the last 2 games.
He took a shot.
Echeverria, a little dribbler to third. Kendrick on the run, and it's picked by Gonzalez at first, and Maeda gives up just the run. Miami's lead is 3. Summer Classic coming to Miami in 2017, and due to limited availability at this moment, only Marlin Fish family season ticket holders are guaranteed access to get All-Star Week ticket strips. Visit marlins.com/ASG. All right, a few things to discuss as this ball game has arrived in the 7th. Jose Urena has been really, really good. One-hit shutout ball. And the Marlins are going defensive. And that is Jeff Francoeur in left field. There you go. And Miguel Rojas at first base. So it takes, obviously, a couple of lefty bats out in Dietrich and Bohr. And now Urena has the teeth of the Dodger order: Reddick, Seager, Gonzalez, and if anybody reaches, Grandal and Peterson.
And with the defensive changes we've seen throughout the year, that Mattingly has a propensity to go for defense. It's usually around the 6th inning or so, 6th or 7th. He'll switch out, definitely at first base. He tries to go defensive minded once the team has a lead.
The wrinkle here is that Francoeur hits in Bohr's spot, Rojas hits in Dietrich's, and Echeverria fires to first to Rojas.
I'm just always reluctant to take power bats out of lineup, especially against a team like the Dodgers, who've shown that they can score in a flurry, like they did last night with that home run barrage.
Well, this is Seager, and Urena's kept him in check. Liner to left, and Francoeur gathers it up. Seager now with 4 hits in the series and a 6-game hit streak. Nobody sees sports quite the way Colin Cowherd and Jason Whitlock do. Catch Colin and Jason. They team up for FS1's daily sports talk show, Speak for Yourself. And it's now at a new time, 5 Eastern. Gonzalez has punched out twice. Muscles that one into right. Ichiro after it. Seager to second. And he holds there. I wonder how many young players like Seager on a ball like that are thinking, all right, scouting report says, you know, good arm and right. Or they're thinking, I remember that throw Ichiro made back in 2001 to get Terrence Long in Oakland that was on, and still is, on just about every highlight reel. And I'm sure Seager has seen that play many times.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Ichiro's had some highlight throws over his career, but right there, I think Seager's thinking my run means absolutely nothing. So if I can't go into third base standing up, I'm not going.
So you don't think Terrence Long crossed his mind?
Nah, I think the scoreboard pretty much dictated that. But trust me, that throw is well in everyone's mind because Terrence Long is my buddy. We were with the Mets together in the minor leagues, and a real good friend of mine. And yeah, Ichiro dropped a dime on him.
There's Grandal. Of course, the Dodgers in the second half have been hitting a lot of home runs. Grandal is the tying run. Bearclaw and Dunn with 1 out in the 7th. For Grandal, a couple fly balls to left. Miami won that duel of aces on Friday night. Jose Fernandez punched out 14. Marlins got to Clayton Kershaw.
Good pitch.
And it's 2-2. And then last night, Rich Hill was perfect for 7. Dave Roberts agonized over the decision, took him out. And while the Dodger bullpen wasn't perfect, they kept the shutout, and LA won it 5-0. Ureñas 2-2. Foul tip. And he's still alive.
Rich, I'm going to say something crazy right here. I would like to see Ureña throw a complete game today. 77, 78 pitches. If he can get a quick out or two here, maybe get himself a ground ball for double play.
There's the ground ball. Gordon out there. Echeverria turn out there.
Call me crazy, Rich.
Preston Wilson, you are crazy. And the Marlins get a big double play. And Ureña has thrown 7 shutout innings. On this Patriot Day, USAA honors those who have served, and all of our service members at home and abroad. And so we here at Marlins Park salute our armed forces with God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above, from the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans, wide with home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home, home, sweet home.
Thank you, Rachel.
Item 7, 7th inning stretch. It's been a busy series for Craig Minervini. He's got another guest. Craig.
Well, Rich, it's a great story. Hiroshi and Akiko Asikura have traveled all over the United States watching Major League Baseball and even into Canada for the last 10 years plus. You wanted to go, you're from Japan, to every Major League ballpark. Why?
Yes, every ballpark from the 26 from this time.
Yeah, about 10 years or more.
This Marlins Park is a Southeast.
It's your 30th park. You finished the circuit.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm so happy to visit all Major League Baseball.
And of all things, to catch Ichiro and Maeda.
Maeda, yeah, also very happy. Last time I see their play.
Yeah, last night they
play.
All right, so what were your favorite parks and how do they compare to the ballparks in Japan?
Beautiful, and the grass is so clean and smells good, and especially
how about a base hit for Jose Urena, the pitcher? What were your favorite parks?
Dodger Stadium.
Dodger Stadium.
So beautiful. I like it. Once I try. I hope visit the Dodger Stadium. Also Fenway and the Chicago Cubs.
Wrigley Field.
I like very much.
We're happy to have you here in Miami. I know Orestes Estrada had a chance. Our friend over at Tampa Bay, the former Marlin, had a chance.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy. Major League is great, and I love Major League.
Let me ask you one thing as we close. Are the Marlins a bigger story now in Japan because of Ichiro? The Marlin games are on in Japan.
Yes. We can see every morning, and I can see every morning, April to October. Wow. We watch the Major League Baseball. So much great and fantastic.
Thanks a lot. Enjoy the rest of the game. Okay?
Thank you so much.
Nice to visit with him. Let's go back to Rich and Preston.
What a great guy, and what a nice feat to have been in all 30 Major League ballparks.
Yeah, it's amazing. He said Dodger Stadium was his favorite stadium. It's been long said that the ballpark in Kansas City and Dodger Stadium are two of the ballparks that are the most beautiful.
Yes, he did.
And really, they're two of the older ballparks in baseball, but they were considered years, decades ahead of their times as far as design and just overall aesthetics when they were built.
I think importantly in both of those ballparks situations is the fact that the upkeep has been very vigilant. They are pristine ballparks. D. Gordon drops it down. He got his hands, and he's going to be doubled up. You could hear the bat and the finger when the ball hit. And let's hope that Gordon is not seriously injured.
Well, you see how he's got his hand there? That's a no-no. That's a no-no. As a matter of fact, if we can, I would like to demo to show you how he should be gripping the bat. I don't know if we'll have time to get over there.
That's going to be a double play, and here's Ichiro now. Ichiro takes a strike. And you can see immediately Dustin Luker, one of the trainers for the Marlins, paying attention to Gordon and his finger. Ichiro fly ball to left, and Ethier is there, and he makes the catch. So a promising start, and the Marlins' 7th is over. Gordon's right back on the field. Around, but even Major League Baseball players run into something they don't expect. Let's take a look at Gordon and this bunt attempt, Preston.
Well, look where his fingers are. You see how they're wrapped around the bat. That's something where you can get really lazy with your technique, and sometimes you get the ball that runs in on you. You can't protect yourself. There's a very simple thing that D could do to stop that from happening. All you kids out there too, just give the bat a little pinch, just like that. See that? Now my fingers are out of the way. I don't have this wrap like that like D had. You do that, and also when you look right there, see that little gap? When the ball hits the bat, that's your cushion. So that deadens the bunt for you. You don't have to try to feather it. Give it that little pinch right there. That keeps your fingers out of the way. You protect yourself, and you still get that nice soft bunt because of that little give in the bat.
How far up the barrel of the bat do you slide the exposed hand?
I always tried to get it up just to where the barrel starts to get big, because now I got more control. And you slide this hand up, you go here, slide this hand there, and the bottom hand up a little bit, and that's what gives you control of the bat. I see too many guys bunt with this hand down here, and you don't have control of it. You slide the bottom hand up a little bit and get there, and that is your best feel right there.
Nice. Jock Peterson's up. Jose Urena dusts him off, and it's 2-1. If you're just happening by, Jose Urena has been splendid today. 3-hit shutout ball. He did not allow a base runner or a hit until 2 were out in the 5th inning, and it was Peterson who hit about a 12 hopper up the middle that got through for a hit. He swings and misses there, and it's 2-2. Kyle Bearclaw in Miami's pen, and you get the sense that the Marlins, if Urena does run into trouble, would go there. They wouldn't have Bearclaw ready to go if that wasn't the case. He misses up in a 3-0 Miami lead. And again, we brought it up earlier. There is some mystery as to who might get that 9th inning. With Ramos battling still the finger issue, and Rodney struggling of late. That's Prado streaking across the infield to get the out. But Preston, if Urena keeps getting outs, he's got the pitch count right now to be able to get to the finish line.
I would love to see it happen. The Marlins need a complete game. It's been forever since they've had one, and you got a young man who's done everything you ask of him. Keep the ball down in his zone, be efficient, get early outs. I think it's good for him. I think it's good for the team.
Andre Ethier, normally by now Ethier at the end of a series against the Marlins has like 6 or 7 hits, but he came off the DL yesterday, and he's 0 for 2 here.
I'd like to see him go fastball. I knew he was going to go change up here, but I wanted fastball.
The funny thing is, in this day and age, that changeup's 91 miles an hour.
Yeah, it's a power change, but it's also it's too much of a pattern. I mean, as soon as he threw that 0-2 fastball up, I knew the next pitch was going to be a changeup.
Gordon has it on a couple hops, and Urena keeps getting outs and getting them out on the ground. So 2 outs here in the 8th. MLB.TV Premium, #1 live streaming sports service available. Every out-of-market game is in HD on over 400 supported devices. Includes a free subscription to AppBat Premium. Visit MLB.TV for details.
This is JT Realmuto being a leader. Watch him. He knows his pitcher's been up a little bit. Look at it. Get this ball down. 3-2 count. get this ball down. Point to him, and Urania obliged. He got it down.
Howie Kendrick is bounced out in fly down.
Look at him. That's right. Get this ball down. We need this one. Good low target. Got just what he wanted. Oh, good slider.
And a strike. Soft fly ball, right field. Jose Urania. 8 shutout innings. Just 3 hits for the Dodgers. Terrific stuff on this Sunday in Miami. Outdueling Kenta Maeda and the Dodgers as the Marlins lead it 3-0. On top during the break, Jose Urania, a visit from, well, not the Grim Reaper, but Don Mattingly. And Don Mattingly with his hand on his back telling him how pleased he was, and it looks like Urania is done for the day. So 8 shutout innings, 3 hits allowed. His pitch count sits at 95.
I really wanted to see Urania finish this game, and I mean, he's got a low enough pitch count. He's been very efficient. The Dodger hitters have not looked good against him, and the Marlins have not had a complete game in 400 games. 408 to be exact. The last complete game was Henderson Alvarez on June 3rd, 2014 versus the Tampa Bay Rays. That's a long time, folks. I hope we read it wrong. I hope we had some bad lip reading going on and he goes back out there. I'm a glass half full kind of guy, Rich.
Well, I'm trying to think of how that could have been misconstrued. It looks pretty cut and dry.
Maybe instead of said you did good, maybe he said you're good. You know, yeah.
Well, the key will be watching the bullpen, right, to see.
Yes, AJ was up and throwing, but he is
Claw's,
sitting down now.
Bear Claw's been up, and he's already heated up, so he may have heated up and stopped in anticipation of coming in next inning. Meanwhile, the Dodgers get deeper into their bullpen. Jesse Chavez. Prado lines it to right, and Reddick is there, and he makes the catch. So there's the first out. Chavez acquired from Toronto at the trading deadline. Marlins and Braves tomorrow. Andrew Kashner, Mike Foltynewicz. And that's a 6:30 start for Marlins Live. Yelich's day. Couple hits, another RBI. Chavez misses in. It's a ball and a strike. 9 hits for Miami. And a 1-2 count. Dodgers in the 9th have 9-1-2 scheduled.
Yelich does such a good job of just fighting off pitches. Extending his at bat. Mentioned earlier, the first 2 at bats, he saw 15 pitches. Another deep count here.
Bangs that one off his foot. So Ramos down in the pen.
Not really seeing that AJ lather that he usually has going. Good changeup.
We saw Reed Cornelius on the phone, bullpen coach, obviously in conversation with Miami's dugout. Yelich goes down. There's 2 outs.
And Ramos is back on the mound. But he's not at the rubber yet. Okay, backed up there that time. But that's usually early in the process of a pitcher getting warm up. Usually, if he's already hot, he would be throwing from the rubber by now. So I'm still hopeful, Rich.
I'm with you. I'd love to see him come out. Here's the 0-1 to Francoeur. Jeff Francoeur rips one to left. That one hit on a line. Francoeur's first at bat. He singles. Here comes JT Realmuto. So Ramos going through his progression down in the pen. Realmuto an infield hit to extend a hit streak to 10 games. Marlins trying to climb back just a game under 500 and take this series against the first place Dodgers, and then head out to a road trip that probably will decide their fate in 2016. Marlins are headed to Atlanta and to Philly. Jose Urena You know what, Press? He's got the towel around his hand and his wrist and the sweatshirt on. Now, look at that. Jose Urena saying one more.
He's like, give it to him.
One more. He was asking for one more. But look, whether he's lifted or not, that's what you want to hear from the pitcher.
Yes.
That's what you wanted to see last night from Rich Hill. Longest active streaks, 408 games, and that is now a new major league record. The Brewers were at 407, and that does not include this game. That is going into this game. That's from last night. So if Urena doesn't come out and the bullpen throws a pitch, it'll be 409. That one fouled at the plate. All right, we've seen Don Mattingly says, all right, I don't know. Did he say he's going to stick with him? That's the third angle of that discussion that we've had.
Oh, the drama.
And he checked in with Real Muto, his catcher as well. And it could be one of those, Preston, where you let a guy go out there, and if anybody gets on base, then you bring in Ramos. Right now, Yasmani Grandal in some pain.
Tell you what, he's done a great job blocking balls. There have been a lot of balls in the dirt. And this one, just a straight foul tip, and it looked like it got under the protection. Like right in that little slot where that kneecap and the shin guard goes. Got a sensitive spot when it comes to knees, Rich.
Full count, JT Real Muto. Francoeur at first, and he's going to run eventually. He was off a little early, and Chavez steps off. Runner goes. Real Muto fouls it back.
Yeah, baseball taught me a whole new language, Rich. It wasn't Japanese, it wasn't Chinese, it was oh my knees.
Did you play on much turf in your day?
You know what, when yeah, I played in Montreal. You know, when they had that stadium, the Veterans Stadium had turf, the old Pittsburgh Stadium, the old Cincinnati Stadium.
But not as a home player, right?
No, not as a home ballpark, no.
3-2.
But the old Marlins home ballpark had that very low grass, and it was a hard surface. It was one of the harder surfaces and lower cut grass of anywhere in baseball.
Yeah, the grass surface here now, this, you know, in year 5 of this ballpark, they've been able to try different blends, and they've got a pretty good thing going now compared to other retractable ballparks.
Frenchie's getting a workout over there.
That's good, though.
Yeah, you see that look on his face? You don't think it's good.
Francoeur came in defensively for Bohr. Big at bat for Justin Bohr in this ball game in the 4th inning. Sacrifice fly. That was the second run for Miami. Struck him out. Real Muto doesn't like it. Change up that came in.
I don't know about that pitch.
Him and Bill Miller with words.
You got box tracks on that.
And Jose Urena.
JT was right.
Looks like he's coming back. Yeah. Preston, you get your wish.
Hey, happy thoughts. Let's go.
So Urena goes after a complete game. It's 3-0 Miami. 408 games. 408 since the Marlins have had a complete game. And Jose Urena is right on the doorstep. 95 pitches. We showed and watched that conversation from 3 different angles. And the last one was Don Mattingly turning away from the conversation, shook his head yes, and had that look on his face like, okay. And so here goes Urena. This was Mattingly turning away. Yep. Told Juan Nieves, let's give it to him. That pitch popped in the air left field. Tolles out to Francoeur, and there's one out for Urena. Quick appearance there by young Andrew Tolles. Pinch a penny. Pinch hitter. Now it gets a little trickier. It's Chase Utley and it's Josh Reddick. So 408 games, no complete games. Jose Urena, 24-year-old Dominican, has been outstanding all day long. He was perfect until the 5th. No, Dave Roberts didn't come out and get him. He gave up a single with 2 outs. Gave up 2 more hits in the 7th. Pitch misses away. AJ Ramos is ready to the pen, and that answers the other question of the day, and that is, whom would Don Mattingly entrust with the 9th inning? Utley fouls it back. Ramos with a finger issue he's still dealing with. Fernando Rodney has been ineffective of late. Kyle Barraclough is certainly a candidate as well. And it's 1-2 to Chase Utley. And Utley, always a tough out for any pitcher in a Marlin uniform. We can count it 1-2. Urena certainly making a statement now that he's back into the rotation for his 2nd run this year. Breaking ball wide of first.
Just so impressive today. Down in the zone, good movement. Maybe the most consistent I've seen his slider in an outing overall. You know, sometimes he has a tendency to just spin that slider up there. It won't really do much. Today it's got good break, and he's been keeping it out of the middle of the plate.
That's a fair ball. Rojas to the bag. And Urena is an out away from a shutout. Marlins Live, brought to you by Checkers, is coming up. Jeff Conine, Craig Minervini will update all the scores in the National League wild card race. Miami trying to stay afloat, just trying to stay within distance after that run of a week and a half, 2 weeks, where they dropped from a wild card spot to 5.5 back where they are right now. Now Reddick. In the minor leagues, Urena with 5 complete games, 3 shutouts. But obviously none up here. The 24-year-old Dominican with a 1-2 that bounces.
Well, and this is where, if you're JT, and I know it's hard because JT's young himself, but you want to just remind Jose, just slow down. You know, sometimes when you get excited, you know you're right at the finish line. Your mechanics can leave you. Take that deep breath, slow down, get your mechanics right.
2-2 pitch. Bouncer, and that's a base hit. And down the left field line, Francoeur cuts it off. And here comes Seager. Now you find out if the leash from Don Mattingly was 1 runner on or 2
Do not go get him.
on.
Don't go get him. Leave him out. Oh.
Here comes Mattingly. And he's going to the bullpen.
You got to let him have this.
So a 2-out single by Josh Reddick, and that's the day for Jose Urena. 8 2/3 of shutout ball. A.J. Ramos is coming in. Corey Seager is waiting at the plate. With a 3-0 Miami lead, this is a Kendall Toyota call to the bullpen. The Marlins have a 3-0 lead and have 2 outs in the 9th. Don Mattingly's leash was 1 base runner and you're out. And Urena's out. Ramos is in. Corey Seager waits. Reddick is going to take second. And the first pitch, a strike to Seager. Ramos admittedly has been pitching through that sore finger. Fractured. He was on the disabled list, came back. It seems like it gets a little better as time goes on, and as he continues to pitch through it. Oh, 1 pitch. Off speed, bouncer. Gordon's got it. Ball game, and Miami wins the series. Jose Urena is brilliant. And the Marlins head to Atlanta with a little bit of momentum and keep their hopes alive. 8 2/3 of shutout ball. And the Marlins win it 3-0. And for Urena, his run in the rotation has been impressive. Marlins baseball on Fox Sports Florida is brought to you by Southwest. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. By Ram, right now, get a great deal during Ram Truck Month. And by your South Florida Honda dealers. The Marlins beat Kenta Maeda and the Dodgers take the series. And Jose Urena gets the win. So the last time the Marlins had a complete game, you go all the way back to June 3rd. Henderson Alvarez against the Rays.
Amazing thing about that outing, Rich, only 88 pitches Henderson Alvarez threw in that outing. Walked nobody, 5 strikeouts, scattered 8 hits.
Casual starter, so calm, cool, and collected. Nothing seems to rattle Alvarez. So So the Marlins now at 409 and counting. But for the Fish, the win is the most important thing tonight, and they get it. Let's check in with Craig Minervini. Craig?
All right, thank you. With Jose Urena on the best night of his pro career. First of all, after the 8th inning, what did Mattingly say to you? You knew you were coming back out?
He asked me how are you feeling, and I said, yeah, I was feeling fine. And he said, okay, I go give you the shot, but if you get somebody in base, I will take it out. I said, okay, let's go do it.
Were you concerned when he came over to you, he was going to say that's it after 8 innings?
Yeah, I know it because he told me that before. If I get somebody in base, because I was out like 95 pitches before that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you almost put him away, too. You were a strike away from putting him away, get the base hit on you, huh?
Yeah, that was close, but, you know, that is part of the game.
Oh, were you aware the Marlins have not had a complete game in over 2 years? June of 2014, Henderson Alvarez, over 400 games. Were you aware of that?
You know, I don't even know that, but I know he throw like a complete game, no hitter. But you know that is the dream for the pitcher. Try to get no hitter, or try to throw no 9 innings. You know.
But even to get to this point is the furthest any pitcher has gone this year. To get almost a complete game, I know that's a goal. How neat is that for you to pitch into the 9th inning and be really a pitch away from a complete game?
Yeah, the thing was me on that. You know, I was trying to find the hole with those people and try to make a pitcher, a different pitcher, like they don't see that much, and try to like elevate a fastball up to see now, and then you know it's a guy and try to move his feet, and that's how the keys work for the game.
Did you make a lot of changes from your last start to this start?
Yeah, because you know sometimes people.
Double hit for the monkey. Wait, get here, go ahead. Here, buddy, here. Hold on a second. The monkey struck both parties right here. How you doing, okay?
Yeah, big Q now.
All right, clean out just the last thought. You were talking about the alterations, the changes you made from your last start to this start.
Yeah, the thing, you know, like, everybody, you know, that was like the top line, you know, a lot of lefty on that, but, you know, they think all the time worry about the change-up, you know, out on the plate, and that was, we were usually like so many curveball tonight, you know, that was the key, you know, they don't see that much, because we don't use it that much, and JT was calling that pitcher because he saw that when we watched one more in the bullpen.
It seems like your stuff is very electric. You're just trying to find that consistency each and every time out, but you must feel like you learned a lot this year and you can compete at this level, at a high level for the rotation, yes?
Yeah, you know, we'll be working putting the ball down the zone because that is the keys, like we can make, you know, like try to take advantage on that.
Have a good trip to Atlanta and Philly, and great going.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me.
Give him credit there. Jose Urena. I got a little bit there too. Did you see that, Rich? The monkey has struck again.
Someday the monkey is coming for you, right?
He got a piece of me.
Someday he's coming just for you, though.
Yes.
All right, Craig, we'll see you in Atlanta as well. We'll see you on Marlins Live right around the bend. The Marlins get a really nice win here offensively. Christian Yelich, 2 hits and an RBI. Justin Bour, a sacrifice fly. And the Dodgers leave frustrated. The Marlins win the series. Marlins Live is coming up.